In this video, I'm going to talk about the factors affecting the enzyme activity. So I'll be talking about 3 important factors, and also you have to remember there are more factors that affect the enzyme activity. I will only be talking about the basic factors. Let's start off with temperature. When the temperature is too low, the particles have less kinetic energy. That means they don't collide with each other. If they don't collide with each other, there won't be any enzyme substrate complexes. I had a previous video where I introduced about enzymes. If you don't know what an enzyme substrate complex is, please go back to that video so you can get an idea about it. I will leave the link to it in the description box. So here, when there are less enzyme substrate complexes, that means there will be less products. When the temperature is too high, in the brackets I have written something about being above the optimum temperature. So if you take a look at it, above the optimum. What exactly is this optimum temperature? An optimum is when a substrate works best at that given condition. So for example, for almost all human enzymes, the optimum temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Except for the enzymes that work in the stomach, where they do work at the same temperature. But for stomach enzymes, they do work at an acidic pH, which is not normal. So I'll get back to that in the next point. When the temperature is too high, when it is above the optimum, when it is taken out from its comfort zone, the bonds that are holding the active site, are going to be broken down. And that is going to denature the shape of the active site, so the substrate can no longer fit in. So we say the enzyme actually denatures, and that is a very important word. The enzyme denatures. Then we have this particular graph, which is very important, a bell-shaped curve where you can see the enzyme activity going down. For pH, like I said, pH, when it is above or below, here we have marked the optimum pH. For most of the cells, the optimum pH is 7. If it is below 7, that means it goes to an acidic pH. If it is above 7, it goes to alkaline or a basic pH. So most of the body enzymes work at a pH of 7, except for the enzymes that work in the stomach. The stomach is acidic due to the presence of HCl, so stomach enzymes work well at pH 2. In this scenario, the same case happens. A high or low pH causes the enzyme's active site to denature. The word comes in again, a very important word. When the shape of the active site gets altered, the substrate cannot bind, so the reaction will not take place. Another important compound I drew on my screen. Another important compound or another important factor is the enzyme concentration. Let's say you're increasing the number of enzymes that are going to take part in a particular reaction, or you're going to increase the number of enzymes. So they're all hyped up, so they quickly keep on taking out the reaction. They keep on reacting with the substrates, and the reactants will be formed. But eventually, if you take a look at this graph, this area shows that it is undergoing a rate limiting step, or the graph is leveling off. The graph levels off. This happens because no matter how much you increase your enzyme concentration, if your substrates are limited, if there is nobody to bind to the active sites, that means that there won't be a reaction taking place. This is the same for the substrates. Let's say you have so many substrates found here. These are all your substrates just sitting down there waiting for the reaction to take place. But you only have about a couple of enzymes. So no matter what, no matter how you increase your substrate concentration, at one point there will be less active sites to bind to, for these substrates to bind to. Hence, both the enzyme substrate and the enzyme and substrate concentration graphs will be of a particular shape like this. They are not going to give a bell-shaped curve like the previous one. So these three are the most important factors affecting enzyme activity. And then in the next video, I will be talking about enzyme inhibitors.